Hello everybody, this is a very nervous Ash from WhatCulture here, ready to present to you something a little bit different to our usual video fare. Because there are now 2 million of you on the channel, which is so exciting and lovely. Thank you all so much for, engaging with the content, for subscribing, for all of the stuff that you've done over the years to help us hit this milestone. It is so overwhelming and lovely, and as a result, we've decided we're going to have a little look at the past, go dive into the WhatCulture archives and find out some entertaining content for you in making every presenter watch their very first video that they did for WhatCulture. Now, that is lovely. It's really nice to see all the things that came together to build WhatCulture up to what it is today. And thinking about, first videos, little throwbacks, celebration, great, wonderful. But in reality, I present so much different to what I did when I started, and my presenting skills now, it's just, there has been exponential growth between those two. And yeah, I'm a bit nervous about looking at it, about showing you guys it, about my reaction to it, but hey, this is what this is about, isn't it? A bit of fun, bit of entertainment, but yeah, just to tell you about my time at WhatCulture as well, because I don't know if this is interesting, but I'm going to tell you a bit about me and my time at WhatCulture. I started two years ago, just over 2 years ago. February 19th, I remember, is the date because I've committed it to memory because I love WhatCulture. And I've had a blast. I've had 2 years of absolute intense fun. It's just been so, so lovely. And yeah, but when I started, I perhaps wasn't as experienced as I am now, because obviously I have 2 years in the industry of working on voiceovers, videos, presenting, all that sort of thing. So it's a little bit different back in the day. I walked into this voiceover. This was my, this is technically, I should tell you, it's my third voiceover I ever did for WhatCulture, because I did a few trial voiceovers first. So this is my first official one, and it went out on the channel, and you know what, like, it's the OG Ash. And yeah, back in the day I had way more of a black country accent as well. I feel like that's kind of just fell out of me as the years have gone on. Doing more videos have kind of leveled out my accent. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that is still there. But yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's have a little look, because I can't wait to start.
If straight-to-TV movies weren't upsetting enough, the small screen has also played host to some of the most terrifying tricks and treats in all of pop culture in series form, bringing bloody zombie terrors and intergalactic nightmares into the comfort of our own home.
Oh, it's the voice. It's how much deeper my voice is back then to now. Like practically now, I sound like Charlie Day when I listen to these old videos, because I'm just so deep. I'm so deep and brooding and thinking about my video, and so monotone. Oh, it's just, this isn't, like I say, the trial ones are obviously my trials, they're a bit different, but this is the first official one, and it's so different to how I would present something now. I'm just literally staring at a picture of Mads Mikkelsen, looking at a cherry, like, ooh, delicious cherry, and now, that's like this content, but it's a spoiled, rotten piece of meat that we're about to chomp down on. So yeah, let's carry on, shall we?
Homes, in lovely bite-sized chunks. From Rod Sterling's groundbreaking The Twilight Zone.
Rod Sterling! Oh, I feel like that encapsulates this whole learning curve. Probably the best. I called Rod Sterling Rod Sterling. Now, obviously, in lots of my videos, lots of my early videos, I have pronunciation mistakes, and sometimes it's hilarious. Sometimes I think I'm doing a very funny joke about it, like, oh, obviously it's not said like this, but I'm going to say it like this because, it's goofy. That one, I think I was just so nervous when I was doing it. I said Rod Sterling and nobody called me out on it, and then it obviously went live and everyone was like, who is this chick talking about Rod Sterling? Who's Rod Sterling, Ash? Who's Rod Sterling? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know who he is. I know who Rod Sterling is, and it's not this fella. Oh, well, carry on.
The horrors of Charlie Brooker's Black Mirror, fictional monsters and all too real ones, vampires, zombies, clowns, and spiders. Television has brought us the kind of devilish delights to have boys and girls of every age watching through their fingers while hiding behind the sofa. With that in mind, I'm Ash from WhatCulture.
Oh, hell, that picture, I love that picture. I took that in a Halloween photo shoot in my back garden that I gave myself when I was like, oh, I love blogging. I love taking pictures of my bloggy clothes, and put this Halloween jumper on because I loved it.
And this is the 10 scariest TV episodes of all time.
I feel like it sounds...
10. C.
I should pause this. I feel like it sounds like I've got a mouthful of, like, food. I'm like, hello. I don't know. I think it's you learn as you go on with this job about projecting for the most satisfying voice sound, and I just don't think I'd picked it up by then. But yeah.
The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead rarely veers into outright horror, preferring instead to show the very human terrors of this world gone to hell. I guess people being bitten gets boring in the wake of someone getting their face bashed in by a barbed wire bat. In its season,
it's just there's no emotion. I guess. A barbed wire bat to the face is quite exciting. It's like, I think back in the day I thought deadpan was, the way to be, because it's British humour, a bit of dryness, but there's a line, isn't there? There's a line. You compare this to something I voice now, I'm like my voice is pitch shifting all over the place.
Season 3 premiere though, back when zombies were cool and Rick and company find the prison, it truly delivered on some terrifying undead action. The show ratchets the levels of gore right back up with this episode and does an incredible job of building tension.
Yes.
That particularly comes when the group go exploring the prison in almost total darkness, with zombies lurking and poor old Herschel being bitten. If your heart didn't break, you're a soulless piece of shit.
Oh, that was a bit aggressive, wasn't it?
9. Possession. Penny Dreadful.
Right. Penny Dreadful, absolute banger of a TV show that has not been seen enough and needs to be spread around widespread. If this video going out and my endless embarrassment isn't enough for you, then just go and watch Penny Dreadful and enjoy that instead. I love Penny Dreadful. It was so good. But this actually, I didn't actually write this article. This was one of my first adaptations as well. I write a lot of my work. I adapt a lot of other stuff as well. But this one was written by James Hunt, who was our TV editor at the time, and he writes wonderfully. He's a lovely guy. If you watch this is the best and most lasting thing I can tell you about about James Hunt and our friendship was I did a podcast on the Game of Thrones channel with Josh. And it's literally half an hour of us just laughing at a joke Josh made about you can get these pies called Frey Bentos pies, and obviously in Game of Thrones, Walder Frey gets turned into a pie, so it's called Frey Sons Pie, and that was the peak of comedy, the height of comedy for us.
Penny Dreadful never became the big hit it once seemed destined to be, which is a shame because the show put a great new spin on a number of well-worn stories, developing some gripping new characters in the process and delivering serious chills and thrills. It had a particular skill in building up tension over a number of episodes, and then decided to unleash all of that in the penultimate installment of its first season, Possession. The demon finally starts to come to the fore, and then all hell really breaks loose. It's a masterful performance from Eva Green, who received nowhere near enough attention for her acting and also her strangely exaggerated accent.
Oh no! Me trying to do an Eva Green impression is I was really hoping this wasn't the video where I did an impression of Eva Green, but it is, and it's terrible, it's awful. I can't do accents either. I love Eva Green's voice. I think she has such a distinctive, pronounced way of speaking, and I tried to get that across here, and just went, it just doesn't sound right, but I think she has such a fantastic, wonderful voice for, a theatrical horror voice. I think she's fantastic.
8. The Tale of Laughing in the Dark. Are you afraid of the dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark was aimed at children, and while most episodes were creepy, nothing in the series matched the nightmare-inducing terror of Zeebo the Clown.
Yeah, Zeebo is pretty
Clowns
scary.
are well suited to being turned into scary stories,
This will
as we've seen with Stephen King's It, and the look of Zeebo alone is enough to strike fear into the hearts of viewers. The episode begins by setting the scene, taking place in a carnival. Zeebo was played by a worker who died in the funhouse back in the 1920s, and has haunted the place ever since. The kids steal his nose, it's scarier than it sounds, and in return he leaves them balloons, makes phone calls and whispers to them in the pitch black, all with a highly sinister laugh that sends chills straight through you. It might not seem as bad as an adult, but it'll dredge up some awful memories, and there's enough of a spooky atmosphere and haunting creature design to leave an indelible impression, no matter how hard you try to forget.
Wow.
7.
That was what I remember most about my starting at WhatCulture was it was Adam Cleary and Jules that did my whole introduction and talking to people and all that sort of thing, and they taught me well. Jules, bless him, was my voiceover coach for a little while, where I was obviously doing these horror pieces and I always expressed this great love of horror and all the spooky stuff. And he sat in with me in the studio because we have this lovely studio in our office. And it's quite big, so you can get a few people in it. So there's me at the little recording table with this mic, and Jules standing, pacing. Can you imagine an acting school where someone's like, "Come on, you've got to read it like this," and me be going for the table read, and him pacing up and down, going, "Come on, come on." Bless him, he stood there and he coached me through one of my horror pieces. I can't remember if it was this one or not. I've done so many now. Coached me through it and was teaching me how to kind of get my voice a bit more and enunciate things better and get my voice going up and down a bit more and that sort of thing. So just basically his top tips for voiceover artistry. And for all the horror ones, he was like, well, if I'm speaking about horror, I try and, add a bit of like flavor to it, like, ooh, to make it sound spooky. And you can hear it. Like I did a couple of little lines like it in this one, I think. And I think about that memory often because it was such a fond, nice thing, just a nice thing from my life and a nice thing that he did, and me trying to take that and turn it into voiceovers and having to practice and trying to make spooky voices sound right on voiceovers for the first time. It was just nice. I just thought I'd share that. It was nice.
Halloween, American Horror Story.
Exactly what I mean. American Horror Story. Like I've tried to say it like, ooh, hey, have you seen American Horror Story?
Story has had plenty of moments that live up to its title, though it veers more into the grotesque than it does the genuinely terrifying.
True.
That being said, sex parties, rubber gimp suits, and torture porn might be what you look for in a TV show, and that's totally fine, right guys? The first season of the infamous horror show delivered more overtly on the scary moments, and fittingly, its biggest scares came during its 2-part Halloween episode. Halloween is a time in American Horror Story when ghosts roam free, and both parts of this episode are crawling with them. The rubber man, who is, a rubber man, returns to stalk the characters and haunt viewers too, and this is the episode where the series really started turning the dial up on its insanity. It's crazy, creepy, and will have you on the edge of your seat, ready to dive behind the sofa. Or get your custom-made leather ski mask and some Vaseline out, whatever.
I'm pretty sure I wrote that joke in myself, and I'm not sorry, so...
5. The Empty Child, Doctor Who.
Also a banger. Like I say, I still stand by all the choices in this list at the moment, because they're all very scary and they are all some of the best TV episodes of all time. Like, all time is what I said at this title, and you know what? It's all time still is an all-timer list. So I'm glad we're revisiting it. I'm glad you get this gift once more.
Are you my mummy? 4 words is all it takes to send shivers down the spine of any new Who fan. While Blink may get most of the attention for the show's scares, the weeping angels are nothing compared to these ghostly gas mask kids wondering just where their mother has got to. Like many of the best and scariest Doctor Who episodes, it plays on our innate fears, and does so with a real mesh of genre tropes, from the creepy child to the gas mask and ghosts.
I feel like my voice is way more ASMR back then. Like now, you listen to me, I'm like a shrill, I'm like, I'm talking about horror things! Whereas back then I was like, ooh, here's the smooth FM of Ash Millman. So, you know what? I stand by it now. Cringe is over. Ooh, it's not at all.
4. Hush, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. When you're scared of something, one of the most natural reactions is to scream. It's a raw, visceral reaction to convey terror, and the genius of Hush is that it robs the characters of it. Even though it's almost entirely silent, this is one of the best written episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and undoubtedly its most purely terrifying. The creature design for the gentleman is suitably creepy, and even more troubling once the physical performance of Doug Jones is added in.
Oh, Doug Jones. Can I just pause and say, Doug Jones? Doug Jones.
90s TV nostalgia. No one can hear you scream.
The Jules lesson came out there. No one can hear you scream. Obviously, it's gotten better since then, but that was me. That was me flexing my acting muscles in my voiceovers. I don't know. I think I remember it a lot worse than it was. I don't think it's my best work, because you never think anything's your best work. You're constantly striving to be better, to improve. To every piece I put out, I'm like, that was my best voiceover ever, because I did this at X, Y, and Z. So I always try my best, absolutely always try my best, and always, I'm a perfectionist, so I go back and listen to something that I did 2 years ago, it's going to really rile me up, because I've got 2 years of my best put on top of that. So yeah, that's all I've got is just noises about it.
3. Home, The X-Files. Another show that was often eerie without going full-on horror, Home marked one of the X-Files' more controversial installments, and its most horrific. The subject matter of the episode alone is unsettling, with Mulder and Scully called to investigate the death of an infant with a birth defect, and meet a family of farmers who are all similarly disfigured and don't leave their home.
Someone reacted. I know
the Peacock
this.
family are a
this.
group
I'm
of
like,
killers,
oh no.
and the episode gets so disturbing and violent that a viewer discretion warning was put in front of it, and Fox didn't include it in syndication for years. It's visceral, brutal, and watching the redneck torture family commit their atrocities is completely terrifying.
Atrocities!
2.
I really tried.
Eye of the Beholder,
I still
The
stumble over
Twilight
words now.
Zone. When it comes to horror on TV, it'd be remiss not to mention The Twilight Zone, which remains one of the most influential horror series of all time. It had a number of genuinely scary episodes that hold up even now, but just edging it is Eye of the Beholder. A woman undergoes one final surgery to alter her supposedly disfigured face, which is hidden by bandages throughout the episode. All the while, we're told she is too ugly to fit in, or be outcast to a village of similarly disfigured people if this doesn't succeed. My mom said the same thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a shot featuring a number of silhouettes to keep us in the dark as to what's actually happening.
If nobody else laughs at these jokes, at least I have. You know what? At least they're still popping me. That's something. You've got to take the positives where they come.
It's a horrifying twist and begets a sequence through the hospital that is not only spooky but offers a haunting critique on society's standards of appearances and innate
I'm trying to get through that.
1. Lonely Souls. Twin Peaks.
Oh, actually, this I was watching Twin Peaks at the time and hadn't got to the reveal of the killer yet. I think I was about 2 episodes away, 1 or 2 episodes away, and I got given this to read through, obviously before I adapt it, and was like, yes. So that was good, but you know what? It's part and parcel of the job, isn't it? And I've seen it since, and it doesn't change it because Twin Peaks is so terrifying and so good and scary and creepy. But yeah, that's one of the parts of this job. Is it if you're ever watching something that's been out for a few years, or you're catching up on something, then hey, you got to be prepared for it. But this was it's a good episode.
Every time he appeared was a horror, but it all came to a terrifying crescendo in Lonely Souls. This is where the true extent of Bob is revealed, that he's a being of pure evil with a malevolence almost difficult to comprehend. Just the sight of him in this episode is enough to make your skin crawl.
Young Ash.
The sequence where he dances with Maddie is some of David Lynch's most frightening, visually disturbing work to date. And that's saying something. He creates a moment of such unease and terror that it's impossible to look away, no matter how desperately you want to. A payoff almost worth traversing Lynch's dark imagination for. Those are WhatCulture's scariest TV episodes of all
we got to
time.
the end.
Which TV episodes did we miss? Share your thoughts down in the comments section below. I've been Ash, and you should make sure to subscribe to the WhatCulture YouTube channel for more lists like this. And don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. Thanks for watching. Hello.
Oh, there's Adam Cleary as well. Right, basically, that was my past. That was my old video. Yeah, right. That was a trip for me. I hope it was a trip for you. I think I've changed so much since then. I think I've grown so much. I think WhatCulture has shaped me into a completely different presenter than when I started. And I'm very thankful for that and all the things that I've learned along the way. I think I've grown a lot in the way that I talk and speak, and all the experiences that I've had in this job as well have just made me into a better person as well as a better presenter. So I hope you guys appreciated this little dive back. I hope that you liked my horrible jokes and yeah, got a little insight into my process. This feels like so long ago now. It feels like 100 years, but you should listen to this video, the end of this video. Young Ash, fresh out of I keep trying to say fresh out of uni. I wasn't fresh out of uni. I'd had about 9 months working in retail and on bars and stuff after doing my uni degree for film and English, and then I'd done all my freelance work as well. I was like working in loads of different sectors and finally managed to get this WhatCulture job and was like, hell yeah, I've got my dream job. I get to do everything that I've ever wanted to do with doing film and English and being a writer and being an editor and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I've forgotten what my point is exactly, just that this is a great job, I've had a great time, and I've grown. So hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Listen to Young Ash by saying subscribe, like, all that sort of stuff. Do those things. Enjoy yourself. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoy all the other presenters' versions of these as well, because oh boy, there are plenty more coming. Bye.